Hey guys, hope you're doing fantastic. Today I'm going to show you what's your exact stand with an AI and not the one that you think of. I'm going to give you an assessment that will show you your actual level and what to do to move from there. My name is Nazar. Let's jump into it. Lots of people nowadays are building on a ground that doesn't exist, and they think that they are amplifying their work. But in reality, they're actually amplifying the gaps, and the outputs, unfortunately, looks the same. This video is not going to be about any tools. It's not going to show you what to do, how to use. This video is specifically about what happens when you use tools without fundamental layer beneath them. So we are in this time where everyone heard enough about AI and they feel like they had to, jump into it. And that's fine. All the articles, LinkedIn posts, the fear of being left behind, and let's be honest, things that you're gonna be automated and you're gonna be fired is kind of pushing people into a cliff to start using AI, which is fine. They use it, and that's a rational response to irrational pace. But the message that companies are saying is you have to just start using it, and then things will just magically happen. But no one is actually telling that you need to bring something real to the table first. So people started using, and hey, tools did respond fantastic, and it feels like everything is working, but the gap is invisible. That's the part no one warns you about. AI gives you a confidence, well formatted answer, whether you're an expert or not. And the output, guess what? Looks exactly the same. The damage isn't visible really until it is. So, where did this actually come from? Let's go to the root. I have a feeling that the big problem is the belief that we all have. The AI fills the gaps in your knowledge. That's what the assumption most people are operating on. But the problem, it doesn't. It operates inside them, invisibly, confidently, without warning you. And there is this fellow, Dunning-Kruger, that in 1999 found that people with limited knowledge in their domain consistently overestimates their own competence. They don't know enough to know what they don't know. That's before AI. That's even before the whole big bang that happened in 2000 with .com. And now we have AI that's a massive amp that's been plugged in, and this problem that Dunning-Kruger found is just now amplified with a geometrical progression. So the big problem what I'm trying to paint is that lots of people try to use AI to bring in knowledge from the domains that they are clueless. And we all have to be, mindful to admit where we know or where we don't know. Some people will try to, let me try to figure out what I can get out of this, let's say, chat or agent without involving my IT department. Some will be like, I don't need to involve my maybe law department or HR department. Some might be like, I'm not going to talk to sales. I'm just going to quote based on what this thing tells me. But the problem is you're wrapping up the problem in so-called knowledge foil. But then when you start unwrapping it in a real world, you'll run into problems that you won't know how to solve. And this is not just, something like in IT. It happens everywhere nowadays. And the ads are telling you go in and ads are telling you build your app in the afternoon, no code required, and people are doing it. Don't get me wrong, some people are crushing it and building things impressive, but they do have, I bet you that they have extra knowledge. They are not saying, hey, I was sitting and instead of learning AI, I was learning, these frameworks, or I was learning these processes. And the whole underlying message is, if you're in a big company, hey, skip your IT team, you can do it yourself. If you're, a solo, or you're working as a freelancer, you're just going to create problems that you won't be able to solve. And, a lot of people are kind of doing it, and they're building fantastic things that looks nice, but underneath are massive security holes. And it runs, it looks nice, but nobody asked after the build, hey, so if I use this, where does my company data go? Who has the access to it? What happens if this get breached? Lots of people don't know how many softwares has actually been breached in reality. And the problem that everyone goes around it, and they're like, well, I just did it because if you work for someone, your IT team is slow and they do not do it. But that's where the problem is. The IT team operates in, security in layers. By the time you will create changes in each layer, it takes time, but you also have to vet your program or product that you're building. But now you build something that makes no sense. From a security standpoint, yes, it might be solving something, but that's a massive security disaster. Or again, you'll try to do it something yourself and you break other things that you don't even know. I've spent more than 20 years in, IT, starting since I was 13. I was introduced straight to, a sysadmining when I came to Canada, I remember, and that's where my passion started. I really like the field. I really like everything. I don't go vertical into one, like I just know networking. Over the years, I went vertical multiple of the domains to build up a great, vantage point from which I can check what's happening. And I do it from the other fields as well. That's one of my principles. But even then, everything nowadays is a code. And everything has been generated. And you know what? I'll be honest, I know coding, but I don't know that well to say, hey, I'm sitting here and I'm super confident about everything and I'm just going to follow up and do what other people are just doing. Just click enter, enter, enter until it shows up and it works. I'm being skeptical. It's one of my principles. Not being skeptical from the standpoint that it's bad. You're skeptical because this turns on your head and you start asking questions to make sure you're not going to miss things. And this is where amateurs are confident, but the experts are careful. So how do you know which one you are? Well, what I did, as I mentioned in the beginning, I created a self-assessment test. It has it has 10. It has 10 questions, but 2 questions I'll give you right now. It has 10 questions, answer them, and it will let you know what you need to do. 2 questions that I would like to bring in right now so you can honestly ask yourself. Question number 1. When AI gives you an answer in your domain, in your level of expertise, how do you know if it's wrong? And be honest, do you know because something feels off? Or do you know because you can identify exactly what's wrong and why? Question number 2. If AI tool that you're using will disappear tomorrow, could you still do the work? Or did AI become the foundation and not the actual multiplier? Answer those. And I think when you start asking yourself those 2 questions before you will implement any new builds or any new, decisions based on it, you can start asking agents now different questions. Don't say, hey, give me an answer. Just explain why this like this, why is this like this, what do we need to do, did we miss anything? you're having conversations. So what I did is I came up with 3 levels, not 6, not 20, 3 simple levels. Level number 1, surface user. That's the person that is pretty much a passenger in a car. AI is driving. There's no mental model how to direct it. Ask the question, AI gives you the answer, you just implement. Done. The second one is workflow automator. The person knows how to build with AI more, with tools, automate, kill the repetitive task, get back the time. But the problem is there is no high-level domain understanding, and the person builds in the same box that they are in. The third level is system architect. When you go back to first principles and metacognition. Metacognition gives you ability to think how you think. First principles, you understand what am I trying to achieve? Not like, oh, this is the process we're doing and this is how it has to be automated or whatever. What are you trying to achieve? How can you achieve it with the new tools? Is the old process still valid, or the new process with new tools should be done from scratch? This is domain expertise in depth. And this is what you can build, but you really have to build on a foundation. And it's paradoxic how right now you should be maybe going into deep tool learning, while in my opinion, you should be going into tools to learn your domain, learn other domains, and learn how to use those tools to amplify your knowledge. So, as I see it, everyone at certain point, and it will be very soon for different people, different timings, will reach the end of the road where now, or you have like a cliff, or you jump into this AI void and try to learn how to fly and go from there, or there will be a very long path around it and no one knows if that path will actually bring you to the destination in the correct time. So the full assessment is in the description. 10 questions, 5 minutes. It will tell you exactly the level you are at right now, and more importantly, what actually is blocking you from the next step. It's not a score, just a map. If it needs to be adjusted, I'll do this. I am not building this channel to tell you that AI is answer to everything. I'm building it to show you what it looks like when someone who has been in IT since they were 13 decides to amplify everything they've built, and that's what actual dangerous looks like right now. And I am thrilled to follow other people that are doing the same skills, the same things. They're amplifying their skills, and it just, what a time to be alive. If that's something that you think you like, that's your frequency, the assessment is your first step, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.